Hey guys, so here's your stuff for Friday the 19th. Warm-up's gonna be pretty simple, jumping jacks, like normal, good PVC, good mornings. So we're gonna be doing a lot of deadlifts later, so warm-up's kind of partly gonna be getting ready for that. So hands in a narrow grip, usually that kind of keeps your upper back straight, hinging over to basically as far as you can go with a little bit of knee bend, but keeping the back straight. So if you get to the point where you go do this, you've gone too far, right? So if you can go all the way down to parallel with the back straight, go that far, you'll get a good hamstring stretch. If you get to here and you round, stay just there, right? So it's partly training, being able to keep a straight back, but also usually it's a hamstring stretch. Yeah, so you're gonna do 20 of those, nice and controlled. Don't just kind of get them over with, do them right. Handstand hold, you're gonna kick up this way. For most, if you can, or maybe not most, but whoever can, just holding still, trying to stay really tall and straight. If you don't have that kick up version, you're gonna walk up and just get as close as you can and hold that straight. Yeah, then you're gonna do static inchworms, so that's kind of, again, another usual deadlift warm up that we do. So you're gonna keep your legs straight, you're gonna reach down, you're gonna walk out, push up, and then you're gonna walk back in with your legs straight and stand up. Okay, so 3 of those, do them right, keep the legs as straight as you can so you get that good stretch in the hamstrings. If you bend your knees, you don't really get that. Yeah. Okay, so you're just going to do one time through the warm-up. Basically, we're going to be getting ready to, the warm-up, the strength is going to be pretty simple, but the timing might be different for some newer people. So Tabata, whenever it says Tabata, it means 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 8 times through, or 8 sets. Okay, so what we're going to do is jumping back squats. So you're going to put a bar in your back, bar or PVC, something light. If you have a barbell at home, don't use anything more than the bar, right? That's also if you have a pretty solid squat and you can squat quite a bit of weight, then it's still no more than the bar, because I want you to be able to do it consistently for 20 seconds every single round. What I don't want to do is kind of use a barbell when I wouldn't be able to hold on to that and I'd stand there for some of the time, right? This, even with a PVC, even if you have a pretty strong squat, is going to be enough, I think, for most. So I'm only giving that option for some. What we're trying to get is that explosiveness. So you're going to keep that narrow grip. You're going to do, okay, so I'm going to just do a solid squat at the bottom, really get explosive out of the top, so heels on the ground, chest up and getting past 90 here, explode up, straight up, and I'm getting it extended and off the ground, but straight at the top. So what I don't want to do is go and kind of stay tucked. I'm going to really extend and get tall. Right, and if I just kind of keep consistently pushing up, what I don't want to do is kind of slowly stand up and then jump, or I don't want to go fast and then almost stop. So I don't want to go like this and then go, right? I want to get one motion. Okay? So I get that spring out of the bottom a little bit, but try to get explosive. Okay, so what you're going to do is 20 seconds of work, 20 seconds of as many of those as you can. Keep track of the number. 10 seconds of rest. 20 seconds again. 10 seconds of rest. 20 seconds again. 8 times. Okay? So say you get 10 squats every time. You got 80 reps at the end. Then you're going to take a minute off. Get set up to do some sit-ups. So you can use an ab mat or a towel under your back or a pillow under your back for a kind of a rise of the lower back. Something you don't have to, you can just use a mat like this as well, or your carpet or whatever, but you got your feet knees out like this and feet together, and we're gonna touch the ground and touch your toes, right? So we get to use momentum, but the idea is I wanna be doing them fast for 20 seconds every single time. So it's gonna be, okay? So it should be, it's gonna start off pretty easy. Use as much momentum as you can. I know that kind of seems like cheating for newer people. Trust me, if you kind of go fast and fast and fast and fast every round, you're gonna be burning, and then you're gonna be able to push through a lot more of that burn than if you were doing them as like a strict, or like a, right? So I'm gonna get that heart rate up. I'm gonna burn through. Yeah, so you're gonna do 8 sets of that as well. So say you got 80 reps for the, I don't know if 80 is gonna be a reasonable number, but say you got 80 reps for the squats, and then you get 80 reps for the sit-ups, and you get 10 in each 20 seconds. Probably a little unrealistic, but then you got 160 reps total for your strength, okay? Yeah, so just try to keep the pace up, sprint it, and then see how long that lasts. Don't try to save it for the later rounds, okay? Yeah, I think it takes some time. You're gonna do your workout is one of those ones. People have been liking these ones where we get to break them up however you want. Usually we don't let you do that. Every once in a while we allow it. I'm finding for this, especially because you guys have limited equipment, it might be it's a good way to kind of keep the intensity up for everyone. So the workout, 50 deadlifts, 50 handstand push-ups, 50 pistols, one-legged squats, and 50 bar facing burpees. So I would say the stronger the athlete, especially at all of the movements, you might be good at one and struggle at another, the bigger the set. So I'd say that, you know, Matt Fraser and Tia Claire-Toomey would be doing 50, 50, 50, 50, and they would just rip it, right? They'd probably be able to go almost unbroken for everything, right? So then there's less transition time, but their movements last a long time, right? So I'd say for most people in the gym, if you do, 50 deadlifts in a row, by the time you get to 30, they start to really slow down, right? Same with a handstand push-up. If you have a decent handstand push-up, but you do 20 or 25 or 30, all of a sudden you're doing singles, and then you're getting nowhere, the intensity's low, the time's low, right? So, same thing with burpees. Some people can do 50 burpees in a row without losing pace. Some people after 10, it just starts to drop, right? So what we're recommending with this one is kind of base it off of your skills a little bit. If you can only do 5 handstand push-ups at a time, and you think that you'd be able to manage 5 at a time, even if you're good at deadlifts, I would still just base it on your worst movement, right? Especially if you're gonna kind of keep a set number. So if I had, if I knew that I could only do 5 handstand push-ups every time, and that's really gonna die, I would do 10 rounds of 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, right? So 5 deadlifts, 5 handstand push-ups, 5 pistols, 5 bar facing burpees, and then that would kind of even it out. That would kind of keep it going for the whole workout, right? If I do 5 rounds of 10, obviously I don't want to be breaking up that 10 very much, right? I don't want to be doing 4 handstand push-ups, 3 handstand push-ups, 3 handstand push-ups to get done my 10. I want to be able to do 10. So if I have that skill, that might be a strategy. You also could also do this as a different way. You could say, I want to get my whatever out of the way. I want to get my 50 deadlifts done, and then I'm going to do rounds of everything else. It's up to you, but I would say keep it simple. Keep it as rounds for most people, just to kind of keep your brain so you can kind of tick around and not have to be, do a random number of deadlifts and then a random number of handstand push-ups and a random number of pistols. You're going to get all over the place, okay? But based on your skills, I would say the stronger you are in each of the movements, or in your weakest movement, your set is bigger. The weaker you are in your weakest movement, your set is smaller. So you could do 50 sets of 1, right? You could go 1, 1, 1, 1, keep going through 1, 1, 1. That just makes a lot more transition time, okay? But you might be able to keep going with it, all right? yeah, I can't see many people doing that, but I could see a lot of people in this one doing the 10 sets of 5. That might be a good idea. Okay, so for the deadlifts, it's heavy relative to what you have at home. So if you have a barbell and lots of weight, we're setting the weight, the max weight you can do for this WOD would be a standard kind of WOD in the gym. 225 for guys and 155 for girls. It's kind of like that standard open weight and kind of, you know, a generally normally RX deadlift. So yeah, so with these deadlifts, we're going to work on getting that butt and shoulders to come up together. So from here, butt's below the shoulders a little bit, bars over the knots of my shoes, right? And I want to see a straight line up with this bar, right? So to start, I don't want to bring the chest up, and I don't want to bring the butt up. I want to bring both up together. So I'm going to be trying to keep the bar going up in a straight line, and I'm going to keep the chest the same angle, and that means I had to kind of keep those knees back and out of the way. If those knees kind of go this way, now this bar's going that way, right? So bar's going straight up, the knees getting back and out of the way. I haven't brought the chest up yet. I'll caught myself a little bit, right? And then I'm going to now I'm just going to drag the thigh, and I'm just going to bring the chest up all the way to standing tall. Okay, gotta finish up here. Sometimes with these big, fast deadlifts sets, you see people kind of going, and they don't really finish all the way. So I'm going to get tall, extend all the way. Okay. Yeah. So find a weight that you think you can do. You can make it challenging, especially if you're breaking it up a lot. But I don't want it to be so challenging that I can't keep the form right. Also, I want to be able to keep the intensity a little bit. So I don't want to make it so heavy that I can keep the form right, but I'm doing singles, and every time it takes me 30 seconds to do 1 rep. The idea is to do it fast, right? So challenging, but still can pick it up. A little bit tired, do 5, move on. Okay. Yeah. So if I got a dumbbell or a kettlebell, I'm just going to get you to do them. If you have 2, you could do this way, where you're holding 2 and tipping them down. Most people only have 1 at home. You're probably going to need to get a narrow stance, especially if your legs are long. And then you're just going to be doing that. Trying not to twist deadlift. Okay? So I always have to get my feet quite narrow so that I don't hit myself in the ankle or the leg, right? So that my knees can go out. I don't want to be going this way. I want to be able to keep those knees out a little bit. If you have the dumbbell, you're going to be tipping it down so that you only have to go to here and not all the way down there. Okay, so that would be 50 each side. So obviously, with it being pretty light dumbbell compared to a 225 deadlift, I would be doing more reps. So I would say let's double the reps. If you're doing a light dumbbell, you're going to do 50 left, 50 right. So you might do 5 right, 5 left, then 5 handstand push-ups, then 5 pistols, right? And 5 burpees. So, okay, so handstand push-ups, you're allowed to kip, so you can use momentum. Definitely in a WOD like this, when you're going for 50, you're going to want that to use that momentum to be able to keep you going, because they're going to die anyway. You don't want to do strict for 10 and then all of a sudden you can't do it anymore. So you can kip, so you're going to kick up. All right, we're going to work on keeping my balance. So when I get down, I haven't even brought my butt to the wall, then butt goes on the wall. And then when I tuck my feet down, I want to keep them close to the wall and not out there, right? So that they're straight up, right? And then I'm kicking up in a straight line. So when I bring it down, right, if I kick them forward, it pulled me off the wall, right? So I kind of almost think of it like I'm squatting, right? Straight up, right? I'm not having my legs out there, okay? I often think about my knees going out, but my feet staying above my body. So my feet don't go out too. My feet kind of stay almost like a frog. Yeah, so if I have that would be my version of handstand push-up. I might also use a couple mats underneath my head or pillows or whatever. Again, try to make it easy enough, but Easy enough that you can kind of keep going in the workout, hard enough that you're getting something out of it, okay? If you're doing box ones, that's these ones here. Right, where I get, the further out I go, the easier it is. The steeper I get, the harder it is. Okay? If I want to make it harder than that, I can come on my toes. Right? Again, make it challenging, especially if you're on a box and you're pretty strong, you just don't have the skill to go upside down yet on the wall. Make it pretty tough so that you're doing, you know, that 5 to 10 is pretty hard. And then by the end you're struggling, okay? So it shouldn't be just sort of like a wasted movement where you just go to the hands up push-ups, just rip 5, don't even feel it, move on, okay? So if you do feel like that, you're gonna just keep trying to get steeper and put your feet on the box and get it harder, okay? Pistols, you're doing one-legged squats, so that's it's only 50 total, no matter which way you're doing. If you're doing sets of 5, just make sure that every other set you start with the other leg, because you'll end up doing an odd number. So like, don't start on right every time and do one extra right every time. But it'll be, so a full pistol, good start to the day. First squat of the day. Okay, so I'm gonna alternate, right? Don't let that foot hit the ground like I just did. If you're scaling that, I would just try to, for most people, especially without the ability to kind of be coached so much right now, box version, but as low as you can make the box, or maybe stand on a couple plates or whatever to make your books or whatever to make it higher. But I want to make it challenging enough that I'm getting low, that I have to work for it. I don't want to just sit and stand up. Way too easy. I want to be able to make myself work. So if it's really low, one, I could keep it at this height, but actually kind of not actually sit on it, but feel it. So I did a lot more work there on that one when I didn't actually sit on it, but I felt my butt hitting it. Or I get the box quite low, but I gotta work my way out of it, right? So then when I sit, it's like, and I'm actually having to squat it up. I can't just plop down and kind of make it easy, right? So if I'm gonna do 10 sets of 5, first round I'm gonna start with the right, next round I'm gonna start with the left, and then even it out. If you're doing the 5 sets of 10, that should work itself out. But yeah, bar facing burpees, dumbbell. So if you have a bar, your bar's already loaded with the 225 or 155 or less, but you've got a height to jump over. So imagine my bar is like, you know, off the ground enough like a normal bar. Bar facing burpees means you gotta be straight onto the bar. We can't go this way and do that lateral way. So chest to the ground. 2-foot jump over. Chest to the ground. 2-foot jump over, right? If you have the dumbbell or kettlebell, same idea. Just watch it, your feet aren't going around it, right? So make sure that, you know, I'm just gonna jump over this the same way. I'm gonna do the burpee there, but just make sure that I'm actually going, keep my feet together and go over and not that, okay? So yeah, so break it up however you want, be a little bit strategic, but you gotta play around with it on your worst movement is usually the guide on how you're gonna break things up, okay? Because you wanna be able to keep that movement going for as long as you can. All right, have fun guys.